Next at 10, WESH 2 News is covering Volusia County, where the body of a missing 7-year-old boy was found earlier today. We talked to the man who found that child. We're live with what he had to say. Plus,
I've never questioned it because this life is just so amazing, and I'm like, I wouldn't want it any other way.
Once an unwanted baby, now an adult, sharing her story exclusively with WESH 2 about being given up and how her life has changed for the better.
Local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News on CW18 starts now.
First at 10, a search for a 7-year-old boy with autism who went missing Monday night in Deltona ends in tragedy. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jesse Pagan.
And I'm Michelle Imparato. We first brought you this story as breaking news last night at 10 when the boy disappeared. And then today, the Volusia County Sheriff's Office says that boy's body was found in a lake by a neighbor. WESH
2's Haley Crumble home live in Deltona tonight after talking with that man. Haley.
So this park here in Deltona is one of the last places that little Charlie Newton was seen. You can see that some people in the community have taken to this park to leave some flowers, a balloon, some candles. Now, we spoke with that man who says he found Charlie. He says he went out this morning specifically to look for the little boy. And tragically, he says he did find him, just not in the condition anyone hoped. Now, this park here is not far from that lake where Charlie was found. And after talking with people that live on that lake, they said they plan to have a vigil for the little boy this weekend. Live in Deltona, Haley Crumble home, WESH 2 News.
Thank you, Haley. Now, over the last decade, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children gathered data that shows for children with autism, 84% of accidental deaths were drownings. One of the questions we wanted answers to is why children with autism may be attracted to bodies of water. Some people believe it could be related to the calming aspect of the water. However, there isn't a definitive reason. And with the risk being so high, experts are spreading awareness to hopefully prevent another tragedy.
Nearly half of children on the autism spectrum disorder will go missing at some point in their life. From a 10-year span of 2014 to 2023, we had over 2,700 children with autism who were reported missing.
The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is working to prevent these situations through free checklists, search protocols, and sensory-friendly resources for families with kids on the autism spectrum. There are 10 guides and webinars available on their website.
All right, it's time now to get a check of your most certified accurate forecast. We have First Warning Chief Meteorologist Tony Manolfi keeping a close eye on the local and national conditions as the Thanksgiving holiday travel kicks into high gear. So, Tony, how's it looking?
Yeah, it's nice and mild here, but up to the north, Michelle, it's a lot colder, and that's going to be the developing stories we head into the weekend. But let's focus in on that travel weather right now. Today, it was 81. Tomorrow, 82. Thursday for Thanksgiving here in Orlando, we're going to be at 83 degrees. So out ahead of this front, it's a warm Wednesday, a warm Thursday. Here comes that cold front. That's going to bring some clouds and some showers our way as we head into your Black Friday forecast. So 83 Thursday, 75 on Friday. When we take a look at that Thanksgiving planner, 59, 77, 83. No mention of any rain. And then for the Black Friday shoppers, cold front does approach. Cloudy in the morning, showers arriving right around the noon hour and continuing through mid to late afternoon. So you'll need the umbrella. As far as the hubs are concerned, we're in really, really good shape as of right now. Now, as we head into overnight, this storm system is going to pull out towards Colorado. Could be delays in Denver here because of that snowstorm. And then the roughest of the weather is pulling out of New England, so I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. We had some concerns there earlier up towards Logan's International Airport, but there we've been improving. Now the big story is that colder air coming southward our way towards the weekend. I'll break that down for you coming up at 10:18. See you then.
All right, thank you, Tony. New at 10, a mother is accused of being under the influence when she crashed, killing her young daughter. Deputies arrested Caitlin Switowski today while she was in court for another case. Investigators say she was involved in a single vehicle crash on State Road 429 in September. Deputies say another child was also seriously hurt in that crash. She is facing DUI manslaughter and child neglect charges. We also have some new details tonight about a shooting near Ormond Beach. We first brought you the story as breaking news last night at 10. This happened on Linville Road. Deputies say a 36-year-old man was shot in the stomach and grazed in the head, but is expected to survive. Investigators say the man was shot during an argument with two men who showed up to his house. This investigation continues.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. On the ground now.
All new video at 10 puts you in the middle of a road rage shooting in Orlando. You can see a man hold another driver at gunpoint. Chopper 2 was over the scene near Roberto Clemente Middle School on Yucatan Drive last Monday. The school went into lockdown. WESH 2's Tony Atkins live outside police headquarters tonight, walking us through what set off this shooting. Tony.
Jesse, dispatchers with Orlando Police, they say they got a phone call, several phone calls about a fender bender that eventually led to shots fired on a busy road. And also, De Jesus is facing several felony charges, including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, as well as shooting into an occupied vehicle. I'm reporting live at OPD headquarters. Tony Atkins, WESH 2 News.
Tony, thank you. WESH 2 is in Brevard County tonight, where a Rockledge couple is facing manslaughter charges after police say they neglected a man's elderly father. Police say Rachel Lemley and Alton Cardwell were the primary caregivers for 71-year-old Jimmy Cardwell, who was partially paralyzed after a stroke. In August, the elderly man was taken to the hospital, where investigators say he showed signs of severe neglect and died. Anyone who may have more information on the case should call Rockledge Police.
In Lake County tonight, life in prison. That is where murderer Lori Schaefer will spend the rest of her days. This has been a long legal journey. Michael Schaefer was killed in 2015, and it was during a well-being check in 2018 that his body was found buried behind the house in Lake County that the couple shared. The defense said that the case was circumstantial and asked for the 25-year minimum mandatory sentence. The judge disagreed and gave her life.
The Central Florida community remembering Harris Rosen, the hotelier and philanthropist who passed away Monday.
Still ahead tonight, WESH 2 speaks exclusively to some of the people who worked for Rosen about his legacy and the access he gave underserved children to keep them safe. Plus,
I was made for this family for a reason, and that's all that matters.
next at 10, a young woman who was left at a fire station as a baby talks exclusively to WESH 2 about being surrendered all those years ago and her life today.
We continue tonight with a WESH 2 exclusive. It's hard for many people to understand, but it does happen. Parents, for whatever reason, give up their baby.
Tonight, WESH 2's Gail Pascal Brown tells the story of a newborn surrendered at a fire station, now a thriving adult who says she has no regrets. Got a great outlook and great parents. Again, a newborn or infant can be surrendered up to 30 days after birth.
They can be left at a hospital or a fire station. The parent can remain anonymous, and unless there are signs of abuse or neglect, no questions will be asked. Some fire stations have what are called baby boxes, where the infant can be left. You're looking at one here in Ocala. A silent alarm then lets the crew at the fire station know a child's been dropped off. If you have any questions or need help, call Safe Haven for Newborns Confidential Helpline. The number is on your screen and also on WESH.com.
All right, we're going to bring in Chief Meteorologist Tony Manolfi now. We're talking about our forecast for this evening. We have a launch tonight. What's the timing? It's changed, right?
Yeah, it was 10:05. Now it's 10:55. Okay. Again, the changes are because of weather. They're working on a couple mechanical issues back towards the coast. Hey, let me take you to Brevard County right now, show you what it looks like. We don't have the shot tonight, unfortunately for you. Otherwise, we'd have the launch pad there, but you can see over towards Brevard County, Port Canaveral area. Good looking shot. Temperatures there in the upper 50s, low 60s back towards Leesburg. Here's the updated information now on that launch for tonight. 10:55. That's a batch of another Starlink satellites going up into space. Weather concerns, none. Probability of liftoff looks good. We just have to sort out some of those final issues there, mechanically speaking. Let's take a look now to the front going by. Just to our north, not going to be an impact here. The winds are very, very light, and there are some hints already of some lowering visibility, so fog could once again become a problem towards daybreak. And tomorrow's a very big travel day, so before you head out, if you are traveling tomorrow, I want you to check in with morning meteorologist Kellyanne Class to get the update on any low visibility concerns here in Central Florida. 12-hour forecast now. now, your first warning for downtown Orlando, 6 a.m. coming in at 56 degrees. Look at the first warning forecast here in the metro areas out the door at 7 a.m. Disney World, 57. Oviedo, 56. Winter Garden, 57. DeBary, Orange City, down towards Sanford and Lake Mary, running in the middle 50s. As we widen out that view now for you from Palm Coast to Palm Bay, middle and upper 50s, whereas you head back towards the interior, even up in Ocala, not too bad. Temperatures running about 53 to 55. So a few clouds up to the north with that front going by to our north. A milder afternoon tomorrow compared to today. Today was warm, 81. Tomorrow we'll bump it up another degree or two, 82, maybe 83 in one or two locations, the exception being the coast with that onshore flow kicking in by the afternoon. We'll top out at about 79 degrees. Golf tomorrow looks great. Morning or afternoon tee times looking pretty good. And then the attractions, whether it's Epcot, SeaWorld, Universal, you name it, they're all going to be in great shape, comfortably mild with temperatures in the low 80s. All right, let's get back to the front. Here it comes, Thursday night on into Friday morning, and then by Friday evening, pushing south of the metro areas. Now, on Thursday, we have the Seniors First Turkey Trot, downtown Lake Eola, looking great, comfortably mild, 59, 61, and 64 for 9:15's Tot Trot under cool sunshine. Let's take a look at Friday evening. UCF football, last game of the season here. The Utes are in town, few showers around, nothing major, but you'll need the jacket, and things will be cooling down as we get deeper into the evening. All right, Saturday, Sunday, the real chill begins to filter in behind a strong cold front here. Weekend planner, 70s Saturday, upper 60s on Sunday. And as we head into the weekend, there are other events going on. MLS Cup playoffs, Orlando City Soccer Lads taking on the New York Red Bulls. We win this, we go to the championship game. Let's see if we can get two titles here within a week and a half. There's Ocala, 38. The Land, 46. Titusville, 51. That is waking up Sunday morning. Even colder than that Monday and Tuesday. I'll break that down for you coming up in the next half hour. So shopping on Friday, that's your transition day. A couple of showers, crisp and cool, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Get ready.
Are you sure you're ready for this?
For the Connors. It's the family that puts the fun.
I say we all get a family tattoo.
In dysfunctional.
Here's a sinking ship. Does it get more Connor now?
Tonight at midnight on CW18.
Watch Inside the NFL on the CW.
For much of the day, we've been talking about swim safety for children with autism following yet another drowning in our area. But all children who take lessons are safer.
WESH 2's Greg Fox talked exclusively with some of the people who worked with Harris Rosen, the hotelier and philanthropist who passed away yesterday, and made access to swim safety and pool activities a priority for thousands across the region. Thanksgiving is in a couple days, and WESH 2 is taking you to the Seniors First Turkey Trot 5K that morning.
WESH 2 is partnering with Seniors First again for the run on November 28th at Lake Eola, so that's Thursday. Thousands of runners, joggers, and walkers are going to be dressing up for this run. The money goes to programs like Meals on Wheels. Our very own Sheldon Dutez will be hosting the event. He's also running in it. If you want to register, you can go to WESH.com and click on the As Seen on WESH 2 tab, and you can join Nancy Alvarez and the entire Sunrise team for live coverage all morning long on WESH 2 News Sunrise.
A young girl got quite an early Thanksgiving surprise today.
Still ahead tonight, why this magical cover for her bionic arm is so important to her after all that she's been through. Plus,
it's going to hit local small business really hard.
Next at 10:30, we take a closer look at the impacts Americans could feel if President-elect Trump imposes proposed tariffs on 3 of our nation's top trade partners.
Become a Big Bang wordsmith with Sheldon and the gang.
Rana Tanada.
Are you making these up or having a stroke?
Just listen and learn. Transient idiopathic arrhythmia.
Bovine spondylofold encephalopathy.
Wow.
Dirty double mother suckler.
What the hell was that?
B to the R to the I-S-K. Mitosis. Pear. Tickle. Pear tickle.
Get smarter one word at a time with the Big Bang Theory. Weeknights at 7 on CW18.
Play it again. Play it again.
Local, live, late breaking. WESH 2 News on CW18 starts now.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Jessica Gott.
And I'm Michelle Imparato. Here's a look at our top stories tonight at 10:30. A search for a 7-year-old boy with autism who went missing Monday night in Deltona ended in tragedy. Crews were looking for Charlie Newton near a lake that stretched into Tuesday morning. Their search, John Richard found the body. He's a neighbor, and he says he has a son, and it's simply heartbreaking. Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood said that he would be looking into partnerships to try to get technology that can help families with children with special needs and help introduce kids to the water at a young age. It is a push that the neighbor said he would like to also be a part of. Charlie's death is the 3rd time in just a few weeks in our area that children have been found dead in bodies of water in Central Florida.
A mother is accused of driving drunk before a crash that killed her young daughter. Deputies arrested Caitlin Switkowski today while she was in court for another case. The investigators say she was involved in a single vehicle crash on State Road 429 in September. Deputies say another child was seriously hurt in that crash. She's facing DUI, manslaughter, and child neglect charges.
We have new video tonight in an Orlando road rage investigation that we first brought to you earlier this month. It shows the moment that police arrested 56-year-old Edgardo De Jesus. We also have some cell phone video of the incident too. Police say that De Jesus was driving on Lake Underhill Road near Yucatan Drive when his truck was hit by a car. Police say that the car stopped and then tried to turn around when De Jesus shot at it, causing the driver to crash into a ditch. De Jesus was arrested and is now being held without bond. No one was hurt.
Might be mild outside tonight, but another cold blast is coming to Central Florida.
That's right, and the changes will likely be felt just as the holiday shopping season kicks off. We have First Warning Chief Meteorologist Tony Manalfi here with a check of your most certified accurate forecast. Hey, Tony.
I tell you what, Michelle, the changes are coming. So if you like that warm weather, get out there tomorrow. Get out there on Thanksgiving Day. Friday, Black Friday, is our transition day as we head into the upcoming weekend. A stronger front arrives, and that will knock the temperatures down. So around 70, maybe a little warmer than that on Saturday, but falling back into the 60s on Sunday. But more importantly, those overnight lows will be getting colder and colder as we get into Monday, Tuesday, and even on into Wednesday morning. So Saturday, 70, Sunday, 69, which isn't too terrible. But when you look at these overnight lows in Ocala, 38, 37, 35 on Thursday. That's likely to produce some frost here in town. 51, 44, and 43. Let's give the rest of those communities here. Look at Wildwood, back towards Claremont, Kissimmee, Bitlow, Sanford, Lake Jessup, up towards the Land, Daytona Beach, all in the mid-40s. Flip the page here. Monday morning, a few degrees colder. Tuesday morning, a few more degrees colder. 35 Ocala, 40 in the Land, 39 Wildwood, and 46 back towards Titusville. But more importantly, look at the feels like temperatures now Tuesday morning in the upper 20s up there in Ocala and in the upper 30s here in town. The good news is by the middle of next week, things will gradually begin to warm back up. I'll show you that coming up here a little bit later on.
President-elect Donald Trump says he will put tariffs on imported goods from the nation's 3 largest trade partners on his first day in office if they don't cooperate.
Now, the National Retail Federation is warning those tariffs would be too high for retailers to absorb, which means you would pay more potentially. WESH News' Justin Shecker takes a deeper look at the possible impacts. There is the possibility Canada, Mexico, and China retaliate with their own tariffs on American-made products. The National Retail Federation says that could unfairly burden small and medium-sized businesses.
In Volusia County, the man who shot and killed a beloved jewelry store owner in Daytona Beach will spend the rest of his life in jail. In a plea deal today, 83-year-old John Krager stood before a judge and pleaded guilty to the crime. Over the summer, Krager walked into Volusia Gold and Diamonds, approached owner Gus Osta, and without warning, shot him. Lee Osta, Gus's wife, had a gun and shot Krager, but Krager survived. The motive is still unclear. Krager sold jewelry to Osta all the time, actually the other way around, Osta all the time, and then Lee says that recently tried to peddle rings.
I think 6 or 8 Las Vegas type big bauble jewelry. Unsellable around here. He just wanted to attach himself, and there was very much of an obsession with Martha, my husband, and our family. This guy had no one.
John Krager was actually sentenced to 2 life sentences after he shot and killed Gus Osta because Krager also tried to shoot Osta's son. All right, if we get sick or badly injured, we can call 911 for help. But there is a group in Brevard County that's like EMS for wild animals.
Yeah, WESH 2's Dave McDaniel spent a day tagging along with Wild Florida Rescue. We've put Wild Florida Rescue's emergency hotline number on WESH.com. Right now, they are only doing rescues in Brevard County.
A young girl was born with a limb difference.
But now she has a bionic arm to help her live a normal life.
Someone hand-painted this. They did an amazing job. Like, look at, how did they do this logo? Don't know. Like, it's beautiful.
Up next, why this new arm cover she got today is so meaningful in her inspirational journey.
Welcome home.
TV's funniest couple.
Would you like to have dinner with a white man?
Yes, Justin Timberlake.
And America's favorite family have joined the club.
Really? Yes, really. Why would I joke about that?
They go together like
Lennon and McCartney, Hall & Oates, Wheeler and...
Better cut to the chase.
Bob Hart's Abishola and the Connors. Tonight, starting at 11, a part of the new CW18 Late Night Comedy Club.
Just the right amount of excruciatingly awkward.
CW18's Happy Hours. Weeknights starting at 5, only on CW18.
What do you want to watch?
The Big Bang.
Weeknights at 7, only on CW18.
It's a Thanksgiving surprise for a South Florida girl in Orlando today. She got an exclusive, magical, Moana-themed bionic arm cover.
WESH 2's Gail Pascal Brown explains why this is such a heartwarming and exciting news. Eloise also got a bunch of gifts ahead of the Moana 2 movie release on November 27th, and she actually was treated to an advanced screening of the movie tonight.
How much fun for her. Oh, and I'm so glad to see her smiling about that. You can tell she was happy, and that will be life-changing for her. Tony, when you talk about this forecast, you have a couple big weather stories for us as we head into our holiday.
Yeah, so we've got the above normal temperatures today, tomorrow, and Thursday. And then when we show you this national temperature map, you're going to be so happy you're here, not up in Montana, out in Colorado, where there's a major snowstorm ongoing. So if you like the warm weather, big travel day tomorrow. We're in good shape in and out of Orlando. Watch your hubs out west. Watch the hubs in New England. Thanksgiving Day, you're all settled in, eating turkey with the loved ones. You're in good shape. Here comes our first front on Friday, and then a dry front over the weekend will usher in that cooler air. Look at this. Teens in Sioux Falls, 22. Minneapolis. Snowstorm developing here through the high country out west. Vegas is at 68. And look at Sacramento tonight. 48 degrees, 42 up there in Boston. Yeah, do you think they're ready for Christmas up in Ocala? There's your tree. Look at all the lights. Very festive in the Ocala Square tonight, where the temperature is currently sitting at 58 degrees. Claremont, 57. St. Cloud, you're at 62. New Smyrna Beach coming in at 61 degrees. So we do have a front just to the north of Central Florida. It is not going to make its way down here. It'll kind of scoot by to the north. Winds out ahead of it are pretty light. We'll be watching for some patchy fog. Again, I need you to check back in with meteorologist Kellyanne Class out the door tomorrow morning to get the update on any fog concerns in your neighborhood. 52 north and west, 62 over towards the coast. In between the I-4 corridor here in Orange County. Mid-50s Lake Mary up towards Orange City and Volusia County. And right here through Celebration Disney, Kissimmee and Point Siena will be running in the middle to the upper 50s. And tomorrow morning back towards Melbourne and Palm Bay, mid-50s there as well. Futurecast shows just a little bit of patchy fog out the door very early tomorrow morning. Futurecast through the afternoon shows a few clouds going by up towards the north. Other than that, though, a pretty quiet, a pretty mild Wednesday afternoon across Central Florida. Look at these temperatures tomorrow. Normally we'd be at about 77. Tomorrow, we're going to be about 5 degrees above that through the interior. We'll be running in the upper 70s back towards the coast. Not a bad-looking beach day, I might add. 1 o'clock, 78. 3 o'clock coming in at 78 up towards Daytona Beach. First warning forecast here for the attractions. Looking good. Nice and mild by the afternoon. Running in the low 80s. Here's the front now. It's on the move. Coming in during the early morning hours on Friday. Rain chances will start to increase from north to south. Not expecting a lot of rain, but just enough to kind of dampen the ground. There are a couple of events going on Friday night. Folks should be shopping as well. Morning, noon, and afternoon looking great for Thanksgiving and mild. Take a look at that Black Friday forecast. Dry in the morning, showers arriving in the afternoon. Midday temperatures running in the mid-70s. 8 o'clock over towards UCF. The bounce house is going to be bouncing for one more time. Showers around, nothing significant, but gee, you might get a little damp there for that one. And then as we head into Saturday and Sunday, here comes that blast of even colder air as we settle into Sunday night, Monday, and Tuesday. Weekend planner, highs in the upper 60s to around the 70-degree mark. And then for the MLS Cup playoffs, 59, 57, jackets required as that colder air pours on in. Sunday morning, 38 in Ocala, 50s at the coast. And then on Monday and Tuesday, mid-30s, dropping down into the mid-40s back towards the coast. Let's put it all together here for you now. Wednesday and Thursday, warm. Friday's your transition day. Coming in at 75. Saturday and Sunday, not bad, but getting cooler and cooler during the day on Sunday, setting the stage for a chilly start for the first full week of December.
All right, Tony, thank you. You know, Darren, when Paolo Banchero was injured, I think fans were a little nervous about how the team was going to do, but the Magic are on fire.
They really are. It's been a pretty solid season so far.
Yeah, they lost 5 straight when he went down, and now they've won 9 out of their last 10 games.
That's great.
Something's in the water. Sports is going great. We're going to talk about the Magic, plus that rivalry football game up in Tallahassee. Sports is next.
CW Courtside Saturday returns when Syracuse battles Notre Dame, followed by Virginia as they welcome SMU to the ACC. CW Courtside Saturday.
It all tips off December 7th on CW18.
Now, WESH 2 Sports on CW18. Sponsored by attorney Dan Newland.
An opportunity awaits. Hello, everybody. I'm Darren Stoltzfus. It's been a while since this rivalry has, at least nationally, meant what it used to mean. There's no implications for the playoffs, no championship aspirations for either squad. But that being said, this is a game that can cause emotional relief or ruin for an entire fan base for the year. Off to a great start.
Okay, well, that seems good. Tony, help us out the door. Do you have a look at our 7-day in the week?
I believe I do.
Love that.
Let's go and push that up right there. 82 and 83 Wednesday and Thursday. Nice and warm. Get out there. Maybe be poolside tomorrow. Just relax. Have some fun. Friday, here comes the front. Couple showers. Nothing major. And then we turn drier and colder at the back end of the weekend on into the start of next week. We could see 30s north and west with some frost again likely as we get you into Tuesday and Wednesday mornings in Ocala. Not likely, though, here in downtown Orlando, guys.
I like that you have a little present up there to remind us to go shopping. It's very helpful, Tony.
It's a hint for everybody at home.
Thank you.
Don't forget your loved ones.
Remember, you can wake up with WESH. The sunrise cruise starts at 4:30 a.m. with overnight news, first morning weather, and traffic, and we're staying on top of everything tonight.
Flip over to WESH 2 for local live, late breaking news at 11, and you can always find our news online on WESH.com. Have a great night.